Oh, I'm not as young as I used to be. That's for certain. Uh, Went out last night. Had a good night. Was out with my brother. Um, but I slept in. I slept in. Felt good. It felt good. Okay. I'm just checking all my screens here. I'm sitting down a little late. Looks like the scanner list is going to be slow today. I did hear on the news this morning Ford is potentially having problems with um, a strike that's going to be happening later on today. So I'm not going to be moving my stop loss. Um, so I think there's going to be a possibility that the stop loss may get triggered today. Um, it's going to be one of those. If it happens, it will happen. I won't have any ability to control that or change that. So I don't think I want to move it up from where it's at. I like the fact that it's going to capture. It's going to capture a good move no matter what. I just may not be as happy with it, but that's fine. Navita, I ended up getting the alert that it did make a lower below here. So, I probably could have made a trade below here because you could see how it was losing strength. Then to pop up. Then when it started to go down, you could have made an argument. Shoot, I lost where that was. Right here. Okay. So time frame 1330. Right here. So when it made, you can see how it's making lower lows. These tops all started to kind of definitely drop here. So if I was sitting here watching this after this little pop here and not really anything happened, I might have jumped in on the low. But it really didn't go that far. I mean, it went down a little bit, but that was kind of choppy. Now, if you just happen to jump in somewhere over here up on one of these upper ridges, you could have rode it all the way down, but you would have had to time it pretty good and then felt comfortable sitting in it. There was not like any real big breakouts. So, I mean, it is kind of the way that one is. That was a good little breakout there, but ended up not playing it. It's doing good today, but I actually think Tesla might be going down today. Not going to do anything until after the market opens and we start seeing the direction it wants to do, but I think from where it's at, I think it could have some pressure to go down. If not, there's going to be a lot of headroom. So Tesla could be a very, very big player for us. Oracle. Let's take a look at that one. I like this one because I could really take on a pretty good share sizing. Uh, Getting leveraged up. Not really any good levels here. We're going to keep an eye on it because I think it's going to start to march back up. We just have to try to catch it right. This one yesterday was a big loser. I saw this up on my scan sheet here. So we're going to take a look at that. This one is also on that sheet now because of this here. So this one could be a really good, but I don't like the fact that it's not that many shares that pushed it. Um, MFC also had a big push down. Um, Not really a whole lot of shares behind that. This one has some decent shares pushing down. So we may keep an eye on this one. So I'll put ABBE right here. So we'll keep an eye on this one. This one might be a grinder though. Hey, good morning, GTA. Yeah, I'm actually working on a deal right now, business deal for the iPhone 15 Pro Maxes. Trying to get a bunch of them ordered. I mean a bunch. What color did you pick? Hey, good morning, Odison. Good morning. Black titanium. Okay. I'm curious to see what the weight difference would be with the titanium versus I think they were using what, aluminum or steel or whatever. I think it's aluminum edging. And so I'm curious to see what that will end up doing there. RTX also. That's a pretty good climb right there. That one I could have jumped on. Again, we're going to keep an eye on RTX. It has a lot of ground to recover or a lot of ground to sink still. It could go either way. So we're going to keep an eye for that. When are you going to get the 15 Pro? When is delivery supposed to be? I'm really going to be watching this to make a move below the 773. Going down towards 72, 172. Apple. So, Apple, I might be shorting next Friday. Okay. Well, that gives me some time next Friday to see what Apple will do, try to figure out what their sales are looking like for the 15, because the 15 is going to be a big item for them. It didn't open with the world's best reception from what I've heard. I haven't watched it, but I've been hearing a lot of things from different people saying that it was not very good. Um, so AMD, that was a decent drop there. I don't know if I'm gonna mess with AMD, but AMD could be interesting to throw some on. This stock here is just I may even be interested in this one. I'll let it go. Yeah, I haven't heard like all the different changes. So the batteries are new battery types. Okay, it's interesting. Oh, somebody's buying Apple. A lot of it. Uh, it was probably an order size around 18,000. Somebody just bought 3 million or so of Apple. It's it's like 3.2. It's actually a lot more than that now. They're still buying. I didn't know that they changed the battery. Um, I didn't think there was anything wrong with the battery that they had. Um, shit. Now, I did hear about the A17 being very powerful, potentially people wanting to do some more testing on it. Um, if they use the Apple phone to take that picture, I mean, a little not great right here, but the colors, and they put it on a black background, of course. But I'm trying to look inside the picture. The colors look really good because Apple was not always some of the best photographs. Samsung really kind of had them beat there. But they might be kind of stepping it up a little bit. Dude, that is sick. 30 hours of video playback? All right, that's actually kind of sick. That's actually really good. More companies need to be doing this, using recycled materials. There's a it's more cost effective. It's not as easy for the production cycle in some cases, not necessarily with aluminum. more so with plastics. But I'm a I really think that we need to do better with our recycling programs. I used to own a recycling company, and one of the products that we recycled was plastic. I think we need to do better on that overall. So you got. Oh, I can't change it. Anyway, doesn't matter. All right. So yeah, that black titanium looks kind of sick, dude. Yeah, anything recycling is going to be a little bit more eco-friendly, but most companies don't want to use recycled plastic because when you're using recycled plastic, it's very hard to get it back into a form that's very similar to unused plastic or new plastic. Also, used plastic can have a little bit of differences in quality, so batching is very, very important. There's some things that go into it. I'm not gonna explain all of that here, but a lot of companies, they're set up to use new plastic. They don't want to change their production lines over to using what's called regrind, which is the used plastic. And so the used plastic is not as recycled as what people think it is. When you put something in a recycle bin that is a certain plastic grade, there's still a very good percentage that plastic could still end up in the landfill, or worse, somewhere else. Now, I think in some states they actually made that practice illegal, but some of the recycled plastic, the value is so low that they, there's not a whole lot that they can do with it. So even though that you're trying to recycle it, they'll landfill it. Um, well, now at my company, we did not accept any plastic other than plastic that we could recycle because I did not want to, give a false statement to one of, anyone I was working with on what we were going to end up doing with their plastic. But we were recycling ABS, a lot of ABS, and I had found a customer that would take the ABS, regrind it, because one of the things I always did was always do my downstream, research, make sure that my downstream was good. So this company was take my ABS, they would regrind it, they would put it into flake, then they would put it through a screw press. Well, that screw press would press it down so much that it would heat. And then at the end of the press, there was like a little hole. It would drop out, go into a batch of water, and it would cool it down. And then they would have like these little like raindrop things with like tails and stuff. They would tumble that to kind of get some of the small little pieces of plastic off. The little pieces would go back through the system. Then the little raindrops without their tails now, or the tails that stayed attached at that point, all of that would go further down the line, and then would be put into like these huge sacks and would go to a company that would produce all kinds of things with ABS plastic. Um, it was very interesting to kind of do all the downstream before back in my mid 20s when I was running that company. Uh, Learning the life cycle of the plastic. But it really kind of made me upset to find out how many plastics, even when you recycle them, just go into the landfill anyway. It's actually pathetic. Like milk jugs. 90% of all milk jugs are landfilled. It doesn't matter if you rinse them out, you remove labels, it doesn't matter. Milk jugs 90% of the time go straight to the landfill. Soda bottle plastic is generally recycled. That clear plastic is very, very valuable. This plastic. The red, not so much, but this clear plastic, that's a valuable plastic. Clear, white, and black plastic are the most valuable colors in plastic. So if I ever have to buy something that's generally made of plastic, I try to buy one of those colors. Black, white, or clear. That sounds really stupid. Sorry, I kind of went down through a whole environmental thing there. Some of that's just my own personal opinion. Some of that is my personal experiences. Some of those personal experiences are kind of old. Hopefully, things have changed in the industry. It's an industry that I wouldn't mind getting back into because I think we need to have more recycling going on in our society. Excuse me. Today, I don't know what today is going to end up looking like. I might try to do. How to earn 500 a month. Well, that's not very much. I mean, Apple we might do something on, and maybe Tesla. Because I think Tesla, there's a good chance that we could see a red out of it, and then it may pop back up, but I think we could get an early morning sell off. So I think between Apple and Tesla, from what I'm seeing right this second, I think that's just going to be my main target range. Um, Let me throw Ford in here. Um, Ford is still not doing much for us. Decent support with not heavy resistance, so that's good. If it could get through the 12s, it looks like it would jump up to the 15s. There has to be somebody in the 13s and 14s, but can you imagine if it jumped all the way up to 15? Like, boom. That would be massive. So yeah, I'm thinking Tesla, Apple, maybe Nvidia. But Nvidia has had some pretty big spreads with crazy up and down. So you know whatever the spread is, you probably would need like an opening two times or three times higher than that, and that gets expensive. You know the action here is a lot tighter, so getting in or out is a lot easier. You know, in all honesty, I we may end up having a no trade day or maybe a light trade day. And you know what? If we take a no trade day, that's perfectly a okay. That's a pretty good climb, but I don't think I'm gonna do anything with that. Um, I'm just looking through some of the stuff on the scanner. Although I'm not, I don't know if I want to do any small or micro caps today. Um, GCC George or no, Charlie George Charlie's on here. We already looked at that, and I'm kind of interested in it. That's barcode. Nice. Yeah, I haven't done anything like that there, GTA, and I don't even know how long. How is the road treating you? How's it? How is it out there? I know one thing. We're gonna start coming into to where the overpasses are gonna start to get ugly. I still got all my radar apps that I use. Weather definitely looks like it's starting to cool down up on the east coast, northeast. Chicago. Ooh, Chicago area is 53. Um, Calgary is 39. So definitely that cold front is starting to work its way down through. Um, in Hudson Bay, it's 45, but the just north of Montana, there's the cold air. It's in the 30s. Um, so Seattle probably be the first one to kind of get down into that temperature range. Looks like we got a couple storms just sitting out in the North Atlantic. One sitting out near in between us and Hawaii. Yeah, cold temperatures are going to start coming in. It's going to be very. I'm enjoying the cooler weather. I woke up late. I didn't get to make me my tea. Um, so I'm drinking Dr. Pepper and water. I'm not complaining about that though. Dr. Pepper and water is a good mix. But yeah, Otis, and the stock that you were just talking about in that chat room, I totally missed that. I wasn't even by the computer. Did you get it? Did you get on that one? Did you get it? Oh no, you were away from your desk too. Yeah, I was away from my computer. I didn't even know about that one until last night when I was doing a quick look at my computer. Dollar menu. You made a dollar menu play. You made enough money to go to the McDonald's. You know what? That's even sad. You know, you can't even say you're so dang single, or you're single like a You're single like a McDonald's $1 menu because the McDonald's $1 menu is not even $1 anymore. Some of it's like a dollar, five, $2, whatever. I don't think, yeah, the $1 menu there's not much on it. That's actually a dollar. Yeah, I kind of feel the same with that one. RCKT really did kind of it it played out well, really well actually. Yeah, I got it on my screen, so I was looking at it yesterday. It was on there, I think. I don't know when I put it on there actually. Yeah, in all honesty, I think I'm just gonna stick with the play that has been working for me. Um, I'm going to do. How did I get all three pens in here? I'm really bad with pens. I try to keep a pen in my vehicle. Well, I got the pen here. I try to keep a pen in my garage when I'm doing packaging. Well, I got the pen here. And then this is my desk pen. I need to put this one back in my car, this one back in the garage, and stop carrying them with me. Because I'm really bad with that. I try to leave a pen in every place I would need a pen because I'm really bad at getting a pen, using the pen, and then keeping the pen. And then putting the pen down and totally forgetting where I put it. Ay. Yeah, the RCKT never made a drop. Not really. That one was just a grind all the way up. Yeah. GTA, yeah. I've had some oversized guys do stuff like that. Um, Especially, trying to pass up a Swift guy, but they're taking up, 1.7 or more than a half, well, 1.5 lanes. And they will run your ass over if they had to. They don't give a fuck. Um, I would also say, keeping an eye out for them bull haulers too, cause man, it ain't no joke. Them guys will fly. And I've seen some of them pushing some absolutely ridiculous speeds, and I'm one shocked that they can be fully loaded and get up to those speeds as easily as they do. That's one, and then two, just the sheer recklessness of that. It's asinine. You're driving a big truck at some of the speeds that them bull haulers, or even the heavy haulers, oversized and heavy haul, sometimes they go way too fast, and it's like over dimensions, you're overweight, or you're fully loaded. I mean, either way, you're cruising for a bruising, and yeah, keep it safe out there, dude. So Apple looks like it might start to round back down, but I'm not going to do any trade on it unless it starts to break. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So it looks like it's going to start to come back down, but I'm not going to do anything until it starts to break down here, because it could get into a chopping range, and I don't want that. If it makes a good break up, I might jump in it there. But I think Apple, I'm going to sit and wait until a couple minutes after market to see what it wants to do. But I need to be careful with that because I could lose a lot of volatility in that time frame. But I don't want to get into a situation like I have earlier this month where I was jumping in, and I could make a good win, but I was also making some mistakes. If I can get consistent, even wins here, that's what I'm looking for. I want some consistency. GTA, there's been shit, man. There's been some times where I really do miss being on the road. We're gonna go ahead and put a 400 in. Looking at Tesla here, that order size wouldn't be a problem. Um, Looking at Tesla, gonna try to get some of the high volatility on this kind of early, and then we'll cut share sizing down if we do anything else, or if we start to get into chop. So if we start getting into chop, we'll go into small sizing and then add to it if we start to get the correct direction, so to speak. So we'll average in. It would be a little bit more expensive to do it that way, than just doing a full sizing, but really limiting the potential downside and allowing for maximum recovery. So, for instance, let's say we thought the upside was quite likely here. Um, Wherever I got in here, if it went down, I could have, bought a little bit more in, kind of keep control of my stop loss. And then as it starts to go up, add into it a little bit, whenever it kind of pops low, and, try to keep an average, and then just try to keep riding it up. It kind of resets it. So, I mean, say you were here, averaged here because you got in somewhat good, and then you kind of get up here, it could put you an average right here, but you would have more shares working for you on the way, on the continuations. So, pros and cons to, trying to average in or out. But I think if you're in the chop, that's going to be the best way to kind of do it, because then, one, you can have a slightly wider stop, or not slightly, you can have a wider stop range because you're not going to be risking as much money, especially if you already have, a good green day in. Um, so I may try the averaging game. And that also has the added benefit of slower action. If you're in chop, you need to have some slower action. It's not like this here or here where you got a lot of movement. And yesterday overall was not a good movement day, compared to like here. I'm going to go ahead and pop that off. I'm going to leave the low side on for now. But I don't need that high one on. So if it makes it above this point here, that's definitely going to be higher than here. Because, our price bubbles over here, not over here. So this would definitely be higher than here. I mean, here's higher than here. So if we break above that, it's really starting to get a lot of headroom upwards. So 280 could definitely be a very, very fun zone for a really good climb up and out. There could be a big break on this, but the pre-market wasn't. The pre-market is not like fabulous. So, I mean, taking the highs right here, that's the beginning of the kickoff right here. That is acting as resistance. It's acting as support right here on a down move. There's a good chance that we could see it dropping below 277. I mean, do you see what I'm talking about right there? Oh, I guess I could actually do that on the big screen. Right in that area. You can see how that all kind of lines up. So if you go underneath the swing low where it was support, and then try to say for a continuation down to 277, and then from 277, 276 would be doable, 275 would be possible, or lower. It could go all the way down to 270. So this stock 100% could go either way. But whatever way it's going to go there and it's going to go there quickly. Yeah, see, so it just broke that zone that could have acted as support. It did break back above it. But what are you going to do now? That's going to be the question. Right there. That's the hairline right there. What is it going to do? So above 79 and climbing, I'm going to be interested in. But I think the move downward is going to be quite a bit more likely here. Especially for a breakout. It may flip and, start to climb up later in the day in the chop. We've seen that more than once. It jams all the way down, hits a good low, in the first hour or so of the day. Then from there, it starts to climb up and get back out. Oh wow! Two more people just joined the watch party today. It's freaking sweet. Welcome to the chat thing. Nice to have you. Oh wow, there's a lag in the stream here on YouTube. Okay. Mm. I just kind of want to make sure I put that warning message there. Yeah, GTA, I'll keep that in mind. I'll keep that in mind. But I'm pretty happy right now. I may, whenever I can, I may end up just doing like a really, really long road trip. Buy like a van or something, uh, like a small RV thing. So, I kind of had like the truck experience ish, but bigger. And I can, park in more places than you could in a truck. And then just go drive. Work in the morning, on pre-market time or early, market time, and then go and hit the road. That actually sounds like a lot of fun to me. Just drive anywhere, go anywhere. Yeah. I could totally go do that for a minute. I'll just have to make sure wherever I go, I could get really good internet service. The last thing I need are, internet delays due to bad internet. One of the reasons why I have fiber. I'm just sitting here looking at everything kind of going on here. So it did dip low. It is climbing back up and out. But it did break support. Not by a whole lot, but by enough that that is kind of interesting. Now I'm curious if it's going to go higher than this little swing high right here. So the swing high tops out like right, we'll just say 278.10. It's slightly lower than that, but we're going to say 278.10. And this may work its way back down. We're just going to keep an eye on that. Apple did turn back up and around, which is part of the reason why I don't want to. Never mind. Never frickin' mind. There it goes. And guess what? So did you. And Nvidia. Huge sell-off. So now we're definitely below that support. It did not even get past this level here. It did not even break the 278. The spread is opening up. This can get very, very interesting in the next few minutes. Amazon, you're looking mighty pretty now. All right, Amazon just got on the list for a possible short for today. I definitely think the down move is going to be very, very strong at this point. On both Ford, Apple, Nvidia, Amazon. Yeah, look at that. We're already hitting the 277. This is where I would want to start shorting it. I think I would have started shorting it here, but it already went under that. So at open, I'll probably start shorting it somewhere a little bit further down, kind of starting to come into some of these levels over here. If this climbs back up and out, then I will probably short it at the bottom of wherever this is at open. Nvidia is trying to gain ground again. But look at that spread. Almost a frickin' dollar. Alright, so Tesla found some strength too. I don't think it's going to break that. So we're going to be at 277. We're going to want to get in right down in here. I actually like the fact that it slowed down, did go up, as long as it still rejects right there. And I think that's going to be very, very likely right now. I'm actually going to move that down. Somewhere, I guess, right there. Allow it a little bit of room to meet into me. Maybe. I'm trying. Yeah, we're gonna sit right there. I kind of like the kind of sitting near yesterday's close, post-market close, below pre-market open. And we're going to be sitting close to flatten this and reevaluating at open. That's bearish. Yeah, we're about to play. So you see the 279, I was really kind of saying above that. So far, I'm right. I still think it's going to be more bearish. But these are some pretty wild swings right here. So we're just going to sit and wait for a second. That is a massive switch. Well, damn. That kind of sucked. I still think it's more likely to go down than up, but I want to. Of course, I get out and take a 200 hit, and it does precisely what I thought it would be doing. Well, alright. It's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. We're going to do this as a stop and go. Once I can get a stop loss entered, we will. Trying to remain patient here. Oh, could have broken back to green. but it wanted to bounce on me a little. That, I mean, it is what it is. We're just gonna keep looking for another opportunity here. We're gonna look for stop and go type deal. What really sucks, could have gotten back to green there for a second. But, I was trying to hold out a little bit. Trying to be a little slow here. So I'm not upset. I'm not upset. Couldn't really short it up here. This candle kind of screwed me a little bit. Got back in right. It just came back up. That this is a stop and go play. It's already not working. Okay, now it is. So, a little tight. Yeah, I know. But that was a stop and go, so I wanted to lock in any profits that were possible. Spy and queen are down, so we're definitely looking at a red market today. For right now, we're red. That's in our favor. I'm not neon red, I'm just red. There. Probably going to do another stop and go here. I'm just trying to figure out where. So I'm looking at the ticket taker, the levels here. All right. We're going to wait a second. Son of a bitch, man. Keeps wanting to find strength at all the wrong times. Stop and go. Stop and go. That little bitch, man. It wants to go. It's not finding it. Alright. Am I finally on the stop? I got filled higher than I wanted to. Or lower than I wanted to. I wanted a better fill than that. But hopefully this is the beginning of a bigger drop. It is. So I'm going to start writing this down a little bit. I want to try to get into the green. So I'm in the green. I'm going to sit right here. And we're just going to let that go. With just periodically moving it down. If we get near target, we'll just flatten it. I still think it has a ways to go. Gonna start getting maybe a little bit more aggressive on these drops. Near target now. We're not gonna move that. We're gonna, yep, let it go. Give it a little bit of room. If it triggers, it triggers. I mean, we're green. There we go. We're green. Done. We timed it wrong, but we stayed disciplined. And for our disciplined, we got rewarded. We are also now getting rewarded on Ford. We did not freak out. And we're getting rewarded. We're getting rewarded quite nicely here. Alright, cool. Definitely retracing now. Very happy with that play. Tesla was a fantastic play. Thank you. Thank you, Odison. 25-cent win on Oracle. Nice. Short or long? Open. So you went in on open, so you went green. Good deal, dude. Good deal. I think this is going to start working its way back down. I may be interested on trying to jump back in at open. We're going to reduce share sizing to half. God, that is a massive like resistance level. It's hard to try to say, yeah, you'll do that. But we're just going to keep an eye on this. It really kind of sucks. If I played that just a little bit more different, I could have had a much better day. But that's a whole lot of coulda, shoulda, woulda thing. And you can't play those games because things change rapidly. This candle got me. This candle got me. If I just held, though, I would have been fine through that. I would have recovered that 200. I could have been up even more. I wouldn't have had to recapture any of that ground. But, you know, you had to understand, at the time that I got right here, it was working on a good chance to go back up. Dude, that sucks. I had the same thing happen to my KW back when I was up in New York. I think the guy's name, he was on my YouTube channel, Dopey Duck. Yeah, it was Dopey Duck. Um, Same thing on the transmission, jacked up, causing the transmission. It was popping in and out of gear. It was really fucking annoying. It wasn't being real. But we ended up having to get towed because I didn't want to continue driving it. We had a mountain pass to kind of go over, and it was popping out of gear whenever it kind of wanted to. Now, generally, it was only popping out of gear when you came to a stop. But I was really concerned that if we started going down a grade or even up a grade, if it popped out of gear, excuse me, that would be very, very, very scary very, very quickly. So I was like, yeah, no, we're going to have this towed. So I'm just sitting here right this minute. I don't know if I'm going to trade forever today. I mean, I'm only in 15 minutes, and that at this level, you know, that's cool. That's cool. It's not even 15 minutes. It's more like, yeah, we'll just say 15 minutes. Good enough. It took the KW. It had to go back to the dealership for them to fix it. It took them fucking weeks because they had to rebuild the transmission. Because where the TCM was, you had to take the transmission out, take the top off. It goes into a very particular spot, and then they have to put it all back in, see if it works. If it doesn't work, then they have to take it all back out again, put it back in, see if it works, and then just continually redo that. I think it's actually gonna didn't get in enough time. I was already figuring it was gonna do a good push down. This is a stop and go. Okay. I don't know if I got any better on that or not, but either way, it's close. Slightly, slightly better on that trade. That was a stop and go. I really wanted to be under here, and I could have, you know, threw a stop loss down or near entry, whatever. I probably would have lowered it or maybe, you know, flattened it if I got in right where I wanted to. Yeah, see, I would have been out by then. So either way, that trade would have gone the same way. I would have been barely better, maybe slightly better than where I'm at right now. But I think this is going to go lower. I may try to do a sell the top for a bigger push down. I don't want to get greedy though. And I got greedy. Alright, I gave back a little bit. That's fine. That's okay. That's okay. I got a little greedy. We're not gonna keep entering in on this chop. I was thinking that it would be a one green candle and then it would reverse, kind of like it did right here. And it is what it's doing. It just went up a little bit higher. stop and go. Uh, I'm doing this giving money back thing, so that kind of sucks. 360. So I'm probably, I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. I'm gonna chill for a second. Let's take a look at PLNT. Yeah, I like this one. I think we're gonna be looking at another good drop here. We're just gonna wait for it. Stop and go it. Let it run. We don't need to chase it. Oh, that kind of sucked. I think we're actually starting to get into a chop range. I'm still it's down pressure, but it's hard to hold because it could reverse on us. But I'm just having a hard time walking from it. I'm giving back a little bit more than half. I've already done 4,400 shares. See, this is starting to look like more and more like a false bottom. Not a false bottom. This looks like a bottom. Very potentially. But I think it's going to break through the 272. It may just need a little bit more time to kind of develop here. But I might just call it a day. This week's just been kind of rough. You know, still call it when you're green, right? Not when you're red. Nice. Oracle's really working out for you there. The good thing with Oracle too, you can actually take a decent share sizing with it if you wanted to. Yeah, I get that. You and me both. I'm gonna sit below here. I really think below the 272, it's gonna have a lot of room to go. It's not wanting to. Damn it. Why did that not exfil when I wanted it to? I fucked up, man. I just gave back, basically, I'm right back where I started from today. So I done all these shares, all that risk. To break red here. I just, I feel like this is going to fucking run down. It keeps wanting to pop back up. You little bitch. Yeah, I'm trying to catch a stop and go at this point, but I should probably put Tesla up on the thing here so I can see it. See those lines. Yeah, I see where it drops below that. I know it wants to go lower than 272. It really does. I see it going down to 270 and breaking 270. I'm black, basically. I was thinking about shorting it near up that top. That's why I looked over at the well, you don't know what I looked over at, but I looked over at Trading View, looking at the VWAP and all that. It did just cross back into it, or the beginning of VWAP is at the 58 level, so it's just above it. And for that reason, it could actually gain some strength. VWAP is starting to turn back up. Yeah, okay. This is where it could break. No, I'm not going to start another one. Below 248, it would be kind of cool. I'll watch it on the screen. Yeah, there it goes. 248. It just broke that. See how low it goes. Yeah, see, this is starting to get into a rising situation. So if it keeps making new highs, it could really start to gain some strength here. If it can be held down, it could get very, very weak. Queen is still going down. Spy is having a small green candle on the 15s. So that may help because it looks like Spy is starting to go down. If we can get back into a good reds, that could be really, really helpful with the predictions that I got here. So we're just still going to continue to wait. I mean, I'm still green. Green is green. I'm not happy about the green. I can't live on this green. But green is better than red. Any day. Any day, your green is better than a red. and my losses overall are way smaller than what they have been earlier in the month, or not month, in the year. So, especially with the changes that I've been making throughout the year, my losses have been continually getting smaller. My wins have been getting more and more somewhat consistent, but I need to get that my wins to stay wins. That is easier. I don't want to say that's going to be hard, but I think definitely doable. We're just gonna sit tight. This looks like it could be struggling a little bit, although over here it's looking like it's gaining some strength. But if it doesn't make a new high, there's a really good chance that this can start to collapse here. This could be the beginning. This could be the swing high resistance. We just need a new low to start to break down. See, that's slightly lower than over here. We just needed to do more than that. Yeah, see, I kind of got caught up again in these trades. It's so easy when you look backwards. On what you coulda. And it's not working. I'm gonna review my trades later because I think I could have stayed in up here. I could have moved my stop losses kind of like somewhere around here. Just sit above the highs. That's what I keep wanting to do, but I keep trying to capture too much of the move. I'm doing it like I'm still trying to scalp it like a micro or small stocks, small caps. I'm trying to play it like that too much. I really need to learn when you take the trade to just kind of sit back. But that's not easy. Well, that's why it's called, trading. It doesn't always go the way you were predicting. See, I would want to short it like right here, and then say over the last little swing high tail, put the stop loss there. But because I'm already so close to going red, I can't get myself to do that. And see, it would just I'm pretty sure that would have just triggered. Yeah, that would have triggered. But you know, I don't got anything planned for today, so I'm gonna be in here probably watching TV a little bit later. So I'm not gonna do. I don't think I'm gonna do anything unless it goes to make a new low or gets way back up here. Yeah, that alert's fine. Actually, I can move it down just a tab. Kind of let me know when it's right there. Because I really would want to see the move kind of happen and then get ready to go under. Actually, no. If I do anything, I would want to be at a new low. Which I think is going to happen. Actually, let's go ahead and shorten that position size. 50. Same spot, just smaller. And we're just going to sit and wait. Spy and queen are down, so kind of expecting a continuations. Continuations, like I said. Damn. It just broke all that. I didn't think it would. That's a pop. That's a pop. Amazon, 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 Amazon. Back above center VWAP. I mean, for Queen and Spy not doing so well, that's a significant pop. 0.7. Actually, I am curious about that. So, the low to the high, the center is right there, 275.30 as of right now. So if it gets above the center, that could be kind of interesting. 275.30, I said? Yeah. So, right there. That's dead center. That could be very interesting right there. I'm actually going to go ahead and put a price there. So we're going to look for something that goes potentially. We're just going to note from the low right here to there. That's the halfway point. And we're going to put this little doohick right there. And then we're going to measure from there. So we're taking the heights there. And we're coming halfway. So the midway point is right here. Approximate. So we'll be looking for something to kind of start to go below this. That's going to be the halfway point from the low, from where it's at. So depending on what it wants to do, that will depend on what we do here. All right, I'm done with that heating pad. I'm not going to go long on this if it breaks up above this, but I do want to see what it's going to do at the halfway point from the high to here. I guess another area I can measure real quick is low to open. Halfway point is basically right here. So from here down here, right underneath this candle is halfway. Oh, here, I just show you, see? Just from right underneath that candle to the bottom, halfway, right here. I'm not going to mark that because it doesn't matter. I'm not going to say it doesn't matter, but I'm not going to use that as a trading. I want to see, I think this could potentially just be like a rise and then a drop, kind of like it was over here, right? So, where here, you see, so it goes way down, it comes back up over midpoint, and then it falls again. And I want to see if that's what it's going to start doing. And you can see it did just cross midpoint. And that's where people started to short it and sell again. So I think a down push very could be likely. Quite potential. Now that's a lot of hypotheticals. But from open to the low, remember this is the halfway point. So it's getting close to crossing back over the midpoint from low. So it's getting closer to a low overall on the day. That could be very beneficial. Did you see that huge order that popped up there for a second? That was huge. There's some big ones. The volume has slowed down, averaged. So I'm hoping that we start getting some in the down move here. We're getting close to being below the halfway from open. Kinda interesting. Still just sitting and waiting. So this candle is not burning perfectly, so I need to push some of this wax down. When this candle was made, the wax wasn't dead center, so it's kind of melting more so on one side than the other. So I just fix it every now and then. Alright. We're just waiting. I mean, no rush. It just sucks that I gave back almost all the money. You know, I think I might actually go ahead and just end the stream for right now. There's not a whole lot going on. I'm gonna set some alarms. Um, and I'll take a look to see what happens later on in the day. Um, but I think primarily right now, I'm just going to watch TV, listen to some music or a documentary, maybe read a book. Actually, there's not. I don't have a book right now I want to read. I need to order some books. But I'm gonna basically do something else. You know, I'm 2 hour in. I'm $22 profit. Not really a fantastic way to start the day, but you know what? That's still really good money for some people. per hour. Hopefully we get a good opening later. Um, that I can try to jump on and make some decent money on. Maybe this at or below there. It looks like it may actually trigger here pretty quick. You know, for a move going down to the 240 or 446, everything else is just kind of meh. So I'm gonna later on today I will be reviewing my Tesla trades. I really probably should have held in. I could have been up here and then gotten out. Probably gotten out somewhere right in here. So that's below halfway of market open. It is below halfway from the low. Is this going to be the the starting of the move, or just another chop? It looks like another possible chop. Yeah, that's a good climb. Still going. Eh, I tried. I thought maybe get a little bit of a climb there, and I mean it was looking like it would. I got a couple bucks for it. Was it worth my time? Probably not. Not worth the risk. But I think if you can get a good stop loss set in here to where you can kind of be and forget, so to speak, it may be worth it. Actually, just over the dollar might be an area where it will get shorted. I think I'm trying to enter the chop, but I like the fact that it's actually getting closer to the upside. So this stock might just went bullish. Even though Queen and Spy are still not doing good. It's sitting above the halfway point. That could definitely be a support zone. And I definitely wouldn't want to short unless it breaks through this alarm here. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and log off. Like I said, I'm gonna go uh, into a different mode of trading, the sit back and chill kind. Um, did I drink all of that Dr. Pepper? Because I don't see it, so I didn't move it. I must have. Um, I feel like a piece of candy. Um, just kind of keep an eye on things. I'm green on the day, so I mean it is kind of what it is. Slight, ever so slightly red on the week. But that's way better than what it has been. You know, these, so to speak, slower plays and being cautious is working out. We just need to keep to the plan. And either today or tomorrow, I'm going to review my trades for today. "55-degree weather sounds nice, dude. It's like 60, 70, 69 degrees here. Let me check that real quick, actually. It's 70 degrees outside. I have a little thermostat thing outside that tells me the temperature. So, out my door, it's 70 degrees. Nice. Well, anyway, GTA, thank you for coming in and chatting. Odison, stay in the green, dude. Hopefully you do well. Hopefully we get a good pop on Tesla, either up or down, something that I can, act upon. But it looks like it's just getting into like this chop range. It's just I don't want to mess with that too much. Maybe with much reduced sizing and having a little bit wider, stops and whatnot, but I think I'm just going to be happy where I'm at. Uh, I'm good. It's 10:40. A lot of volatility is going to be out of the market now. There could be some extra volatility here, depending on if something happens during the day. But I think the majority of the plays had already happened. Didn't play it perfectly. Need to get better with that. But I'm green. So it is a black day. It's not green. It's not red. It's black. Dash up. Small. Mine, alligator 50. So I'm not up 50. Which I guess I don't need to put that in there because I already know what that black, that's what that means. Actually, yeah, I'm not going to do that. Minus 30. Because it's like 30 bucks I'm at. I think. Oh no, it's 40. Okay, a little bit better. Minus 45, because it's in between 40 and 45. Ford has done me a little bit here. but that can change. I'll reevaluate. Um, I'm not going to worry about it until it drops kind of below here. So anyway, see y'all tomorrow.